All right, so I would just wet that. And grabbing some brown. That's really pretty. And I'm just going to kind of swirly that all together in the middle of the geode. There we go. This is the time where you can kind of see where you want more bright colors, like right here. I wouldn't mind that being a little bit stronger, so I'm just grabbing quite a bit of paint on my brush. And I'm going to come in here and plop it in there a little bit, blip, 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 just to get a little bit more defined. Okay. Again, if you have salt that you're painting on there, you can go ahead and throw some on there, and it'll kind of do some really fun stuff with your paint. Now what I'm going to do, remember I said that on the outside of a geode rock, it is kind of a gray and brown. So what I just did is I took some brown and I mixed it in with some old blue paint, this blue, because waste not, want not. Oops, and I splattered, but I actually really like what happened, so I might do that again. Can you see that? These little flecks, it looks kind of cool. I might do that again. Go with it. That's kind of fun. But maybe ask your parents before you splatter paint, because remember, I only like it on being done on that one carpet in my room. So I've got this gray, blue, brown color, and it's this is like dry, this is a wet on dry. So wet paint on dry paper, what that is going to do is it's going to give me quite a bit of control. It might, you can kind of see here maybe that it's spreading a little bit. That's okay. But on this outer edge, I'm going to move my palette. You're in the way. But on this outer edge, where it's touching the white paper, I don't want it to spread, but it's okay if it does a little bit. Don't stress. And feel free to make this kind of really organic, because this is like the outer edge of a lumpy rock. I'm leaning on my table here. I had some green there, so I'm just covering it up, and I really like what it did. And you're gonna do this all the way around your geode painting. I'm running low, so I might have to make some more, which is a-okay. It's just brown and blue. Grab some water, grab some brown. This is the same blue color, so I might go ahead and mix that. Oh, I've got more of a gray blue color. That looks pretty. I just loaded my brush with both. I'm not really, oh, I really like that. What's great about painting things in nature is there's really no right or wrong, because there's not a ton of rules in nature. I mean, there's some. Don't quote me on that, guys. There's some. Ignore that. But still very organic and fun, freeing. And this is not very thick. It's like fingernail thickness, but you can feel free to play with the weight of this rock line. Make it however thick or thin. Again, in areas where I want it to look, I'm just plopping in this paint wherever I want. No rhyme or reason, just fun, just having fun. Oops, a little too much fun there. If you get something like that and you don't like it, I don't mind it, but just to give a little tutorial on that, rinse your brush, you can wet it, and plop some water on there, and sometimes you can wash it out. And there, now you can see it. It's gone. Ha. Okay, I need to make some more of this blue-brown. If you have black in your palette, you can, please feel free, if you like that better, to add water, and that'll add a lot of water to that black, and it'll give you like a gray. But I kind of like to mix my own colors, but you should do whatever makes you feel best when you're painting. So these areas have had a little bit of time to dry, so I'm going to come in with this gray color, and just like I did here, this painting is kind of like a pattern. We're kind of doing the same steps all the way through. This one is going to spread a little bit more, and that's fine. That is a-okay. I am holding close up to my bristles because I want to have a little bit more control, and sometimes my hand shakes. But I'm not going to worry really what the paint does, because I kind of want the paint to be in charge. And here our geode is really taking shape. Let's see how it's kind of blurring there, and that is exactly what I wanted. So the paper's not soaking wet. So if you're finding that as soon as you lay your paint on, it almost looks like it disappears, your paper might be a little too wet, you can just fan it and it'll dry. Now remember I was saying I wanted to maybe show you how you could do this on even lined paper, and if you don't have watercolor paints or watercolor paper, you can do this with markers. You would still need to lay down your water circles, and then you can kind of almost paint with the marker. This video is kind of going longer than I wanted, but I'm having fun, so I might not get to that piece. Maybe another day. Plus it's almost bedtime for my kids. And I gotta read them a story before they go to sleep. I really hope you guys are well and having, making some fun memories with family and over this extended time when we aren't in school together. But know that I'm thinking about you, and that's pretty much what inspired this painting, was you guys. If you're watching this and you're not in my 5th grade class, I think you're awesome too. But I was thinking of my 5th grade students when I decided that this would be kind of a fun painting to do. And you can see I took this blue-brown color that almost looks gray all the way in, and where it's spreading in on the inner parts of my rock, I like it. It's doing exactly what I want it to do. And there's that, and there's your geode rock. Now I accidentally did some splatter paint with my rock color, and I really like what it did. So I am mixing a really dark, kind of a slate blue. So how I got that was the blue and the brown and water, and it almost looks gray. So I am going to take it. This brush has some really nice long bristles, which if I'm splatter painting, which I'm about to do some more of, I might even put some in there just because that got wet at the beginning, and it'll just spread, kind of look intentional. Okay, and so when I go to flick these, I pull back towards my face, and then the paint will spray down and out. So make sure nothing over here is non-paintable. That adds some really fun texture to your painting. Over here where it's dry, it's gonna stay, but in here, inside your rock, it is going to spread and become really part of that crystally looking rock that we're painting. If you haven't seen one, look one up because they are super pretty and they come in all these neat colors. And I wish that I could be with you guys while you're looking at them because we could talk more about the geosphere and how they fit in. But that's okay. Next time, right? So that is super fun. And now all you need to do is let your paint dry. You can frame it. You can hopefully, I'll see if I can go on Artsonia and see if I can make it available for you guys to post your paintings, because if you do one, I sure would love to see it. I love seeing your guys' paintings. You guys know that. But let it dry. If it gets wrinkledy, I didn't tape this down because I actually don't have any tape at my house. And I'm not going into my classroom right now because we are trying to keep everything clean and safe for everybody. And so I just let it go. When this, you can kind of see that it's wrinkledy, and that looks really cool actually. And that's okay because I can press it under some heavy books later if I wanted to, or I can do the iron. I would just flip this over. I would probably ask a parent to flip it over, and then just on warm slowly iron it, and it'll flatten it out. And these would look really cool framed. Again, Artsonia would be a fun place to put them. Anyways, there is your guided painting. I will see if I can find some more time to do another one another time. All right, have a good night, and I'll see you soon.